let me explain to you essentially what's happening here. This is what's called a mini tort. In other words, Michigan is a no-fault state, but you can still take people to small claims for traffic accidents that were not your fault, i.e. if the traffic accident is one party's fault more than it's the other party's fault, you can still come into small claims and get a money judgment. That money judgment sometimes is capped if you have insurance, but if you do not have insurance, it is then not capped. So here's the two things. It's fairly straightforward what's going on here today. One is the first, Mr. Valdez, you did not have insurance?
I did have insurance I forgot to pay, and I didn't know I didn't have insurance at that time, Your Honor.
Okay, so you don't have insurance. So that takes the cap off, the old cap of mini tort off, and then puts the new small claims cap on, but we're underneath that cap anyway. And then one is, I'm assuming you're not contesting that between you and Ms. Bosma, this accident was more your fault than her fault, correct?
There was no fault.
No, sir. I mean, as far as who's more responsible for this accident, it's my understanding she's driving down the road. You were towing a vehicle that then became untowed and crashed into her car, right?
Well, I had it hinged up, tied up, and toe ties. And when I got to the open field, the roads were icy and very windy, and it snapped off. It snapped off the ball hinge.
But sir, she's driving down the road in her lane of traffic, and the car you're towing crosses the center line into her lane of traffic and crashes into her car. That is almost entirely your fault and not her fault at all. You understand that?
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. And so, Ms. Bosma, you're able to recover small claims. It is not capped because there was no insurance with the other driver. It's my understanding in looking at the evidence you submitted that what you did was the responsible thing and you got 3 estimates. Is that what this is?
Yes, correct.
3 different estimates. All right. So here's the issue, though. Essentially, what we wouldn't do, I'm assuming you just sort of picked, well, that's what I should go with. The $6,800, that was your highest estimate. So we wouldn't necessarily go with that one. We go with essentially what's most fair to do here. These were fairly consistent estimates. And so essentially what I'm going to do is set your damages in the amount of $5,000. All right. That is more than your lowest estimate, less than your highest estimate, and right around your middle estimate. All right. And then the only other thing I need to explain is that, Mr. Valdez, Ms. Bosma spent certain monies out of pocket to get here today. She had to pay a filing fee and she had to pay to have you served. That was $191.05. She is also able to collect that as what we call costs. So I just want you to understand at the end of the day here that the total judgment is $5,191.05, where that extra money came from. Does that make sense? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, like I said, this is pretty straightforward. That's going to be the judgment that's issued here today. Now, what I need to make sure both of you understand is either party, Mr. Valdez, because you said that's too much money, or Ms. Bosma, because you said that's not enough money. Either party has a right to disagree with the ruling here today and take this to general civil in front of the district court judges. But to do that, you must do 2 things. One is you must ask for that within 7 days of today's date. Your window of opportunity to take this further into general civil closes after 7 days. And 2, you must do that in writing. You can't just call up the court and say, yeah, I want to appeal. But if you're accepting of my ruling here today, then essentially all I need to explain to you is we do expect the parties to be in contact with each other to do what's called satisfy the judgment, i.e. exchange money. The court does not do collection.